Now that we've got some basic materials, we can actually start summoning demons into the world to do our bidding. This here is a very basic and is going to be your first ritual you need to do. This is going to be to summon a Folio Crusher. Folio means the tier of the demon. Crusher is the demon that we're actually summoning. Now, there's a few things that don't matter. The name of the demon. Fenmarith, you can see here, the name of the demon does not matter. And the glyphs of the chalk do not matter. Only the colour of the chalk matters. Nor does the placement of the sacrificial bowls, but you need 4 of them. I've shown you loads of sacrificial bowls here, so you know where you can place them in a ritual, but it doesn't matter as long as you have 4 of them. So let's start making a ritual. Number 1, in the middle, you're going to need a golden sacrificial bowl. This is made with some gold ingots and a sacrificial bowl, which is made from other stone, which you now know how to get. So I'm going to place down that, which is going to be the centre of our ritual. Now, what you could do for this one is go into your Dictionary of Spirits, and you could go to the bottom one, Pentacles, and we're going to be making Aviar's Circle. If I click on that, it shows me an image of it, and I can click the eye to get the multi-block preview. Now, what you can also do on the right-hand side here is mark all unlocked entries as red. You may need to do that to unlock these. With the items I've shown you how to make, you will have actually gotten to this point. However, you may need to click that just so you don't have to read it all, because you know you've got me. So Aviar's Circle, this is to summon a Folio demon. Now, if I go to the next page, it says Folio Crusher, Folio Lumberjack, Folio Transporter, Janitor. These are different Folio Tier 1, basically. Folio means Tier 1 demons we can summon, and we'll be summoning a Crusher. You can see here that's what Aviar's Circle is for. It's only for the weakest Folio can be summoned with this ritual. So I'm going to click the eye, show the multi-block preview. Oh, no. Place it there. So, as you can see, we're going to need some candles. You can use Minecraft candles, or you can use occultism candles. To make occultism candles, what you need to do is get some tallow and some string. Tallow is made from, if I can get the right one, tallow is made from killing pigs, cows, sheep, and horses, and llamas with a butcher knife. Basically, kill them with a butcher knife, which you make with occultism, and you get tallow. But you can use Minecraft candles as well, or any other candles. So I'm going to place 1, 2, 3, and 4 candles. And now you can see we need some white chalk. To make white chalk, we need to get Otherworld ashes and burnt Otherstone. Get your Otherstone that you've made in the Spirit Fire, shove it in a furnace, and you get that. Otherworld ashes, you throw your Otherworld wood into the Spirit Fire to get that. That will make an impure white chalk. With the impure white chalk, we can make all of the chalks that we need. Red, purple, yellow, and white. But we can't quite get purple, yellow, and red yet. That's later on. But what I'm saying is the impure white chalk is the basis for all chalks. As you can see, it has no durability. But white chalk has a durability of 128. And you can actually add unbreaking to it if you want, which I didn't even realise until just now. What you need to do is throw your impure white chalk into your Spirit Fire, and it will make it white chalk. So get your white chalk, and then just scribble down where it tells you to. So here, 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 oops, here, here, and here. As you can see, I've made an accident, and that truly was an accident, but it's a good accident because I need to also show you the chalk brush made out of some basic materials. You can get a chalk brush, right-click to remove that chalk. Now, what I can also do with my white chalk is cycle through the different glyphs. You would have seen that they all had 2s. Now, it doesn't matter what glyph you have, it's all decorative. The only thing that matters in these rituals is the colour of the chalk. And here we need white chalk. I'm then going to place down my sacrificial bowls, which again can be placed anywhere within an 8-block radius. They can be placed like this or this. There we go. Then I need to put some things down. For this one, the Crusher demon, if you click on Folio Crusher, so what I've done here is I've gone Aviar's Circle, next page, Folio Crusher. It tells you a bit about the Crusher. Basically, it will crush ores for us. It will crush 1 ore into 2 corresponding dusts, meaning the Folio Crusher can double your ores. We need to put iron ore, gold ore, copper ore, and silver ore in the sacrificial bowls. So I'm going to go iron, gold, copper, and silver. And now we need the last item in the middle, which is going to be a Book of Binding for a folio. So as you can see, it's got a different name here. As I said before, the name does not matter. Folios, there's a few different folio demons. What is going to make a folio crusher is using these items corresponding with a folio book. So to make the folio book, you use your Dictionary of Spirits and a Book of Binding folio. And to make the Book of Binding folio, you can use a Taboo book, an Awakened Feather, and a Purified Ink. You know, ink in the Spirit Fire, feather in the Spirit Fire, book in the Spirit Fire with 4 white dye. Or you can make a Book of Binding empty with those 3 items and then adding white dye around it. Using different dyes, like if we look at the Book of Binding empty, you can see purple dye will make an Afrit book, green dye will make a Genie book, a mix will make, you know, this one, etc. That's how you know which demon you're making. So we want a folio. And another way of explaining it is a folio is a tier 1, use white dye. A Genie is a tier 2 demon, use green dye. We need to make a folio first, a folio crusher. Hopefully that makes sense, because it is a bit confusing. The fact that they all have different names, yet they don't matter. The chalk glyphs don't matter, only the colour does. You know, it can be quite what does matter and what doesn't matter. So now that I've got my folio book, which again, I've made the Book of Binding folio, so Book of Binding with white dye, with my Dictionary of Spirits, which gives me this folio demon. I then put that in the middle with the corresponding ores. And as you can see, it's summoning a folio ore crusher. And its purple little specks are showing me here that it's working and it's absorbing the catalysts that I have given to it. Now, once it's used all 4, eventually it's going to summon the actual demon. Now, folio demons will not last forever. I can shift and right-click and you can see essence decay. Once it fully essence decays, the demon will go back to the spirit world. Only folios demons will decay. All higher tier demons will stay around forever. Now, what I can do here is I can throw it some gold ore and it will pick it up. You can see it's holding it. I can shift right click and put it into its inventory. And that raw gold, it's going to turn into 2 gold dust. And yes, that does mean it will double the ores. Now, if you want to get your purple, let's do chalk. Let's say you want to get your impure purple chalk. That will need a crushed end stone and obsidian dust with your impure white. How do you get obsidian dust or crushed end stone? Well, give it to your crusher spirit. So it can crush ores and double them, but it can also crush end stone into end stone dust and obsidian into dust so that you can make purple chalk. The same with yellow chalk, needing gold and glowstone dust. Glowstone dust you could just get manually, but gold dust, like we've just given it, as you can see, it's dropped 2 gold dust. We can now use that to make yellow chalk. So you've now got access to impure, golden, and purple chalk. To make the red chalk, you will need Afrit essence, which is a bit later on. Of course, with your impure golden chalk and purple chalk, throw them into the spirit fire, and you get your perfect golden and purple chalk. Because remember, the glyphs don't matter, but the colour of the chalk does when using rituals. And there you go, you've made your first ritual. A bit complex, but hopefully that made sense. If you've forgotten anything, then basically just go in your Dictionary of Spirits, think about what you want to make. So go, AVR circle, think I want to make a crusher, click on that crusher, and it will show you what you need around it and the book you need. And then the pentacle here shows you that you need AVR circle. So if you want to look at this in the book, go into summoning rituals and then summon folio crusher. And it shows you the different crushers you can get. The Genie crusher, the Afrit crusher, and the Married crusher. So the Genie crusher would need a Genie Book of Binding, which is with the green dye, I think. And you're going to need the dusts to actually summon it. And how do you get the dusts? Well, you need to use the folio crusher. But the Genie one will last forever, and the Genie will crush 1 ore into 3 dusts, so ore tripling. Then you have the Afrit one, which needs even more complex items, with Abra's Conjure Pentacle, and it will crush 1 into 4, and eventually the Married one crushing 6. So it's 6 timesing your ore output. But you're going to need a lot of more complex stuff, a more complex book, and Fatma's Incentivize Attraction. So if we look at the Genie one, you'd need the Offix's Calling, which as you can see, if I press Show Multi-Block, you can see that to get a Genie demon, you actually need to do a lot more. It's going to need some white. In fact, I think you could just upgrade your basic one for that one? Yeah, I think so. But you're going to need, you know, your white chalk, your gold chalk, and your purple chalk, and some spirit-attuned crystal in order to make that pentacle, which is spirit-attuned gems, which, remember, from Spirit Fire is throwing in diamonds. So to make a genie one, you need to get those gold and purple chalks, and it's going to be a bit more complex. But there we go. That's your first ritual done.